Lonely Attack on the Different World, web novel, Chapter 51. Chapter 51. Bought it because it is trendy, yet you are lecturing the source of that trend? Day 27, daytime, White Weirdo Inn, assembly. Sending off Haruka-kun to the guild, we are trying to get to the bottom of the incident since we won't be able to understand the confession of the real culprit, even if he gave us one. Really, just what is going on with Haruka-kun's special skill, report, inform, consult? It didn't prove useful even once. Rather, could it be that it is dragging him down? Well, I'm pretty sure that even skills are powerless to change Haruka-kun. I was sure that Haruka-kun would get lost in the dungeon. To think that he would find a horde of monsters to fight instead. From what I hear, he saw an orc on the outskirts of the forest a few days prior to that, which he also beat to death. So by that point, the flag for the event was already triggered. Though when I learned of this, it was already over. Yeah, if he goes to the dungeon, he will certainly fall into a chasm. There is no way for him to avoid that. Well, even if he falls down into the bottom of a dungeon, he will probably come back a few days later saying, I fell down, so I accidentally beat the dungeon on my way back, kind of. As if nothing happened. How could he not notice that it is a raid by monsters? What made him think that it is a shopping tour? According to the culprit, he didn't even realize there was a horde because they were just jumping out one by one. Yeah, that doesn't seem to be a lie. If it was a large group of monsters, he probably would have used magic to exterminate them. But it seems that he beat every single one to death. Even the king. He was even saying, I was attacked by monsters, so I am the victim here? Wholesale massacre doesn't sound like a very victim-like thing to do, no? Where did that talk about the town being popular with monsters even come from? That they are probably advertising it? What is that even supposed to mean? Why did he think that there would be a prize? And what is this talk about rhythm mania? Did he play too many video games? He claims to have gotten a perfect score. It seems that he couldn't stop once he started beating them. I kept whacking them and got perfect, kind of, is what he said. We decided that we are going to protect Haruka-kun, right? But what are we supposed to protect that from? Yeah, if we were supposed to protect someone, it would be the monsters from Haruka-kun. No matter which way you look at it, they are the victims here. If Haruka-kun ever needs our protection, we might as well just give up since it's obviously impossible to handle. Yeah, right? What happened to Level Wall-san? Was it demolished? He is defeating kings like they are nothing. And he speaks of himself as a mob character. If all mob characters were like Haruka-kun, then demon lords would be getting beaten up the moment they just think of popping up. They'd go extinct without proper protection from mob characters. Instant death. The world of peerless mob characters, it would have no need for heroes, right? Or could it be that the danger to that world is the nearing extinction of monsters? You know, lately I see a lot of townsfolk walking around armed with clubs. Just what is a mob character? Is it some code word for people clubbing others to death? Are all of them just like Haruka-kun? Yeah, and did you notice the clubs they have are actually quite good? A store that specializes in clubs just appeared out of the blue, and it seems to be doing quite well, though it was supposed to be a normal weapon store. Even in front of the inn, there were kids who played by fighting with clubs. That looked pretty fun. Does this town even need protection? Monsters, please run. This town is dangerous. Forget popularity with monsters. This town reeks of massacre and merciless beatings. Which reminds me, earlier Haruka-kun was saying that Villager A might be the strongest. Who? Who is that Villager A? Aren't mob characters too scary here? Looks like this was not a world of sword and magic, but one of the clubs. Before I noticed, even 2 or 3 of the girls bought clubs, even though they are swordswomen. Is this the current trend? Clubbing boom? Am I going to eventually buy one as well? Am I also going to club monsters with it? The source of this fad must be scolded.